Welcome to Hyper Profit. I'm Andru Edwards, and while none of this is financial advice, today I need to talk to you about Roku, ticker symbol ROKU, and why I think this is one of the best long-term stocks to buy and hold in order to increase your wealth. If all you think of is a small video streaming box, when you hear the name Roku, then you're missing out on some crucial information that we'll be going over in this video. But let me be clear, however strong the streaming video industry was a year ago before everything shut down, it is much stronger now, and it's stronger permanently. Now, before we get to that, a quick review of where my portfolio stands as of this recording, as I promised I do at the beginning of each video. So taking a look here, for the day, I am up 1.33%. For the week, I am down 4.49%. For the month, up 4.8%. For the past 3 months, I am up 27.91%. And for the past year, I'm up 38.26%. And then if we go all the way to all time, I am up 39.94%. So these are the kinds of returns and gains that I'm talking about here on this channel, and I'm glad that you're here to join me for the ride. Now, as we jump in, please do hit that like button if you enjoy analysis videos like this one. Now, I did just do a similar video on Fastly, another company that I think is going to be huge over the coming half decade or so. As I like to say, persistent perfection prevents production. Do it first, then do it right. If you're new to investing and feeling fearful, the best way to learn is to do your research and start dipping your toe in the water to learn. On this channel, I want to help you produce more income and wealth. Be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all future videos. And by the way, shout out to the 20% of you who not only subscribe, but also hit the bell to be notified. Okay, now on to Roku, ticker symbol ROKU. Here in this account, I don't own any Roku shares, but I do own Roku over in my Webull account, where I take advantage of buying in the pre-market and aftermarket. Roku is typically an overnight play for me, and I highly recommend having a Webull account so that you can do the same and stop thinking that your trading hours end at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'll leave a link in the description to catch things before they take off in the morning when the market opens. Now, as we can see, Roku was up today by just over 3%, and it's down about 2.35% for the week, which, if you are a forward-thinking investor, means that it's a good day to buy Roku on sale. Again, this is a long-term hold. Let me tell you why, but just remember that none of this is financial advice. You should always do your own research and due diligence. So first, what is Roku? I mentioned at the start that if all you think about when you hear the name Roku is a video streaming box, then you were missing the bigger picture. But that said, Roku's entry into the market and the way it gained steam was through the Roku set-top boxes. The original only streamed Netflix, while today the boxes stream just about any content or service that you can think of. But sales of smart TV streaming boxes isn't where Roku is going to dominate. For them, it's all about the software and distribution. Let's start with the fact that at some point in the future, all television is going to stream. If all television is going to stream, then all TV ads are also going to stream. And again, we are in the very early days of this transition. What most people don't know about Roku is that they are the dominant streaming TV operating system. There are way more streaming devices that run Roku OS than run Google TV, Samsung Tizen, LG's WebOS, and even Apple's tvOS. More than a dozen TV makers ship their TVs with Roku's operating system built in. And that's in addition to Roku's own streaming boxes. Now, this includes brands like TCL, Hisense, JVC, Sharp, Philips, Sanyo, and more. Now, here's the kicker. These TV manufacturers take 0% of platform revenue, meaning Roku gives them nothing. They see it as giving them the privilege of having the Roku OS built into their TVs, allowing them to market them as Roku powered. So everyone else makes the TV hardware and Roku makes the software, almost like the way Microsoft Windows rose into prominence in the 80s. So again, Roku isn't just that company that makes streaming TV boxes. This is the beast lying in wait, perfectly setting itself up to be the streaming TV operating system here in the US. Streaming TV hours grew by 55% in 2020, and as that number continues to grow, Roku's numbers grow as well. Their revenue growth last quarter was 58%, and their CEO said it perfectly. Due to the shutdowns over the past year, the accelerating shift to streaming is permanent, and when someone cancels cable and moves to streaming, they don't go back. So Roku sells streaming hardware. Roku is the default operating system of streaming TV with software that will be able to deliver ads in a much more meaningful way than linear old school TV. Roku also cuts deals with apps on their software. Companies like Disney and HBO pay Roku for inclusion. And now Roku is evidently gearing up to produce its own original TV shows and movies. Now that part is heavily rumored but not confirmed. But if you're looking at the future of TV, it's hard to look at anyone but Roku as leading the charge. Okay, now let's talk about a couple of risks that may get in the way for Roku. First, competition. Again, while Roku leads, their top competitors are big, wealthy companies, mainly Amazon, Google, and Apple. If any of those companies want to compete, they can. Second, international expansion. Everything I mentioned so far is relevant to the United States. Roku does want to replicate that success internationally, but there's no guarantee they'll be able to do so. That said, on days like today, I'll be picking up even more Roku to add to my long position, which I plan to hold for at least 5 years, if not longer. Shares of Roku are currently selling at $467. 27 months ago, this was a $26 stock. If you want to pick up Roku right now, even in the aftermarket, be sure you're using Webull so you aren't left out. Again, the link is down in the description below. Let me know what you think of the future of TV and Roku in particular down in the comments below, and I will meet you there for further discussion. Thank you so much for watching. As always, guys, I appreciate your support. I'm Andrew Webbers, and I will catch you on the next episode of Hyper Profit.